Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nahmadu wa salli ala rasulih al-Kareem. Amma ba'd. I will tell you a true story, and based on this true story, I'll draw a parallel to conclude Sheikh Mikael Smith's discussion, because he wasn't finishing. So he's going to let me conclude the discussion. There was a woman who was in Karachi, Pakistan. She was in her late 20s. She was coming back after a month's trip from America to Pakistan. She had a 2-year-old child with her. And she speaks to her husband at the airport, saying, inshallah, when I get to the city that, I'm not going to mention the city, but the city in America that she's going to get to, I'll see you there. And they were just excited to see each other after a month. When she arrives at the airport with her 2-year-old baby, her husband doesn't come pick her up. It's actually her husband's brother, so her brother-in-law and her mother-in-law. And the cutest moment of a child is when you meet them, like after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that first few minutes. After that, it becomes havoc. But just the first few minutes is like a beautiful experience. And so the baby is looking for his father. The father's not there. She right away asks, she says, where is my husband? The brother-in-law says to her that he's at home, just come with us. He couldn't make it. So she sits in the car and makes her way to the house. Upon getting to the house, she finds out that her husband had passed away. Her husband passes away in the time that she was on her flight back from Pakistan to this country. So she missed out on seeing her husband one last time. There were a group of people that came from Yemen at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. In those days, it wasn't as quick as it is today. I decided to come from Michigan to Chicago, jumped in the car, 4 hours later I was here. There was preparation. They had to get everyone together. And there was an honor of accepting Islam in the hand of the Prophet ﷺ. So these people were getting together. They got together. And then they're traveling towards Medina. A poet, he says, لو جئتكم قاصدا أسعى على بصري ما أديت حقا وأي الحق أديت. He says, O Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, talk about Medina, that if I were to walk on my eyes, not on my feet, if I were to لو جئتكم قاصدا أسعى على بصري, if I were to walk on my eyes to get to your city, ما أديت حقا, I have not fulfilled any right. وَأَيُّ الْحَقِّ أَدَّيْتُ. How can an insufficient, imperfect person like me fulfill any right of the Prophet ﷺ? وَأَبْرَحُ مَا يَكُونُ الشَّوْقُ يَوْمًا إِذَا دَنَتِ الْخِيَامُ إِلَى الْخِيَامِ. Now these people are getting closer and closer to the city of the Prophet ﷺ. And as they start seeing the landmarks, it says that, وَأَبْرَحُ مَا يَكُونُ الشَّوْقُ يَوْمًا إِذَا دَنَتِ الْخِيَامُ إِلَى الْخِيَامِ. The enthusiasm and the excitement, it gets ignited as the landmarks get closer to you. You start seeing Mount Uhud from far away. It even happens to us who our iman is weak. Imagine those people. So they're seeing this. وَلَمَّا رَأَيْنَا رَسْمَ مَنْ لَمْ يَدَّعَ لَنَا فُؤَادًا لِعِرْفَانِ الرَّسُومِ وَلَا لُبَّ نَزَلْنَا عَلَى الْأَكْوَارِ نَمْشِي كَرَامَةً لِمَنْ بَانَ أَنْ نُنِمَّ بِهِ رَكْبَةً. He says, وَلَمَّا رَأَيْنَا رَسْمَ مَنْ لَمْ يَدَعْ لَنَا. The moment our eyes fell upon the landmarks, the rasm, the things that reminded us of the Prophet ﷺ, this well, or the green dome, or Mount Uhud, he stood here, or he drank from here, these rusum. He said the moment our eyes fell on the rusum of our beloved. Brothers and sisters, wallahi, you won't understand this until you start seeing the rusum of your brother who passed away. When you start seeing the clothes that he wore once, the car that he sat in once, sometimes even the food that he liked, sometimes even the things that were of enjoyment that you used to enjoy together, jet skiing, but the next time you go it's emotional. Right? Because that reminds you of your beloved. وَلَمَّا رَأَيْنَا رَسْمَ مَنْ لَمْ يَدَعْ لَنَا فُؤَادًا لِعِرْفَانِ الرُّسُومِ وَلَا لُبَّ. He says, Wallahi, forget seeing our beloved, our heart could not even withstand seeing the rusum of our beloved. We did not even have the heart to comprehend seeing the rusum, the athar, the traces of our beloved. But all we could do, نزلنا عن الأكوار نمشي كرامة. We got off of our camels and our horses just because we're like, oh, we're close to the city of our beloved. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. لمن بان عن لما به ركبة. It's like, what would the world think of us? That we rode on our camels to the footstep of the Prophet ﷺ? We walked to the Prophet ﷺ. And that's why they say most of the Salaf al-Salihin, when they got to Dhul Hulayfa, 6 kilometers they walked. Right? That's what one of the poet, he says, जैसे ही सब्ज़ गुंबद नजर आएगा, बंदगी का करीना बदल जाएगा, सर झुकाने की फुर्सत मिलेगी किसे, खुद ही पलकों से सजदे टपक जाएंगे. He's saying a person, the moment you get closer to the green dome, and the moment you see the green dome, you should fall in sajda and shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh Allah, I don't deserve to be here. And so I'm grateful to you. But you're so fixated on the green dome that you're telling Allah, oh Allah, I'm not falling in sajda, but my tears are falling in sajda. That's what this poet is saying, who was blind. His name was Professor Iqbal Adim. He's blind. He couldn't even see the green dome, but he's saying this. These people then finally enter into the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. When they enter there, they see Abu Bakr sitting on the member. The Prophet had passed away. You know that lady who came from Pakistan, got home, and her husband had passed away? These people made this long journey to the city of the Prophet ﷺ. And the moment they got there, they realized they missed him. Habibi, you know how you ever see someone who misses a flight? Missed a flight. Missed a flight overseas. Missed a flight to Umrah. They missed the Prophet. Sallallahu Habibi, to the brothers who are sitting here. Oh, I'm from Detroit. I have my own way of talking. Uwais al-Qarni, radiyallahu anhu. Wallah, I searched for this for so long. I wanted to find out that finally when he came to Medina, what was his reaction? Because he couldn't come. It comes in the books of history that when he finally arrived in Medina, he used to write letters to the Prophet ﷺ, but he missed him. And when he finally arrived in Medina, wallah, he fainted every few steps. He fainted. Every few he was fainting. He said, I can't stay here. Bilal couldn't stay there for 20 years. He just left. They say the first few days after the Prophet's janazah, a man came from Sham who was a Christian. He walked into the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ and he said, Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah. The Prophet had passed away, but assuming Abu Bakr was a Prophet of Allah, he said, Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah. The Sahaba wept because they never heard Ya Rasulullah, the sentence in days. They started weeping. Brothers and sisters, these people missed out on the Prophet ﷺ. We missed out on him by 1400 years. We missed that train. But you know what's interesting? That mother, after a few days, her mother-in-law tells her, Beti, come here. My son wrote you a letter. My son wrote you a letter. Here's a letter. How do you think she's going to read that letter? How do you think she read that letter? She got that letter. It was a letter from her beloved that she missed out on. So she goes into that room in a private moment, opens that letter, the envelope. We get letters from people we love, who we can't meet all the time. When we get their letters, it's totally different. Right? Every word means something. How Sheikh Mikhail was speaking about earlier. You get fixated on every word. I remember my dad's first letter he wrote to us after my brother passed away. We were waiting for it. Read it so many times. My mom still reads it. So this woman gets a letter from her late husband. You all know what attention to detail she had when she was reading that letter. These people that came from Yemen, they missed the Prophet ﷺ. Abu Bakr anhu meets them, they take the shahada. He makes them sit on the side, and then he has one of the Sahaba sit with them and recite Qur'an to them. And as this man started reciting Qur'an, they started weeping because this was something the Prophet left for them. إِنَّا سَنُلْقِي عَلَيْكَ قَوْلًا ثَقِيلًا لَا تُحَرِّكْ بِهِ لِسَانَكَ تَعْجَلَ. إن علينا جمعه وقرآنه فإذا قرأناه فاتبع قرآنه ثم علينا بيانه. The Prophet ﷺ was the means for the Qur'an to reach the Ummah. He was the messenger. He conveyed the message. He left us with a message, which is the Qur'an, the letter. Now, when they missed out on the Prophet ﷺ, and now they're like, oh, he left us with something? Yes. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Boom, they started crying. Abu Bakr once says, هَكَذَا كُنَّا ثُمَّ قَسَتَ الْقُلُوبِ. He says, we were just like this, but our hearts became hard. Brothers and sisters, the next time you open the Qur'an, remember you missed out on the Prophet ﷺ, but you never missed out on his message. Read the Qur'an like a person would read the will of a loved one. How would you read if you don't even have the heart and the decency to take out time to read a will from your mother who passed away, from your father who passed away? The most enjoyable thing for us brothers to do is read my youngest brother's last messages. It's pinned on our phone. It means something completely different. That's like the last thing we can get from him, is the words that he left for us, the voice notes that he left for us. Next time you open the Qur'an, remind yourself, it was not from Allah's wisdom that we weren't born at the Prophet's time, but he left us with his message. So look at this Qur'an like a person would look at the will of a loved one who left this world. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.